Hey guys, welcome back. This is Matt from the Apollo Crypto team. This is our second dev diary, which kind of chronicles major developments on our GameFi platform for 2023. So if you didn't check out the first one, please go back. It should be in the link below and give it a look. But this is our progress basically over the last couple weeks. So if you recall from our first video, we have two major categories that we're tracking development in. The first is prototyping. So these are mechanics and different things specifically related to gameplay as you move through the Moonbase world, earn tokens for doing tasks, play games, compete against each other, win leaderboards, things like that. And then we have the Web3 components, which Zach and his team are leading that effort on, which we'll touch on a little bit of update there as well. So to get right into it, the first thing that we've been working on is our orbital weapon system. We'll show a couple clips right after this slide for each one of these bullets, but this is basically a system that we wanted to implement for playing the games, because one of them is going to be an endless shooter type of experience with your NFT character. So having a system that could have lots of different weapons but not have to embed them in the artwork for every different skin and every different position and every different movement was kind of key. So we came up with this cool space-like themed orbital system which moves around the character and can shoot in any direction at any enemy, even if you're moving in different directions. The second piece that we really focused on for this last sprint was portals and arenas. So what's a unique way to move from kind of common areas or areas where you can pick up missions and tasks into areas where you can compete to win, which we're calling arenas. So building two systems basically here, one that they can teleport within a current map to mini competitions, or eventually load an entire new scene or area that could be an extended version of a game that we build or a third-party developer could build as well. So portals and arenas are really big to the scalability and how we're building the architecture around this thing. Next is we got the enemies in the game. So you'll see a red enemy guy here following an AI loop, just kind of a basic thing so far, where he can go from point to point and have certain behaviors at each stop in those points, move around obstacles, things like that. But then has an aggro radius. So when the player gets within a certain distance of the enemy, he will chase and try to track you down. So next week we'll kind of be focused on health and taking damage and things like that. But we could certainly kill the enemy character now with our basic gun plasma rifle that you see here. So some big steps in that area where we can now put enemies on loops. We can have them be killed and eventually drop valuable loot. We did that same AI loop thing with the NPCs. You can see here our CEO of the Apollo Moonbase, Leon Tusk, is patrolling around looking to give someone a task. So AI NPC characters will be really important to the overall build of the world and bring in some of the cool crypto culture that we all know and love. And finally, we just did some behind-the-scenes work and character refactoring as we get ready for Zach's code on the NFT side. We want to be able to have unique skins for bodies and heads and switch them out depending on what NFTs you hold, and have a good different aesthetic look to it, as well as abilities and parameters that could feed into the game to give you power-ups and advantages based on your NFT as well. So finally, on the Web3 system side, we've been working on wallet data displayed in the HUD. You can kind of see up here an example of, we've done a connection process, still very much work in progress for the UI here. That's one of our next tasks, is to improve the heads-up display and user interface for showing off, your wallet address that you're connected, what network you're on, whether it's a mainnet or testnet, and then, how much real Apollo you hold, as well as your Apollo Moon tokens or your virtual currency, which we convert through the DAO. Also got in some really cool initial work on NFT contracts. We deployed and tested some of these on Goerli, and we're able to mint and do in-game reads of different values. So really, that's kind of the big part when you talk about connecting a wallet, being able to move your token in and out of the virtual system, the virtual world, and then bring in your NFTs and collect them and use them within the game. So those paths are very quickly getting established here, and it gets really exciting when you talk about really bringing this into a meaningful Web3 game where you can own your content, grow your content, and then monetize your content. Well, that wraps up the high level. Again, next up, I mentioned a few of these things during the talk, but user interface improvements, new weapons and designs. I got a whole nother team working on sound effects and things associated with that. Looting systems, so when you destroy enemies within a game session, they drop things, everything from Apollo tokens to weapons and power-ups and things like that. Music's being worked on right now, so I'm really excited to get that in there and bring some life to that aspect of the game. And of course, this deeper NFT integration, so we can write out to these NFTs. And take a look at Zach's post on the blog today as well for how we're using proxy NFT contracts to do some interesting things. So excited as always, guys. Thanks for sticking with us. Hope everyone in the States has a good and safe Memorial Day weekend, and take care, and we'll talk to you soon.